Hello there! Welcome back to another movie recap. Today, we'll dive into Demon Slayer, Mugen Train. The movie follows the events directly after Season 1, meaning there's major spoilers ahead. So, viewers, beware. Kage Yubaishaki, better known as Oyakata and the leader of the Demon Slayer Corps, takes a walk at a graveyard together with his wife. As they go about their way, Kage mentions the names of every Demon Slayer who has passed away. His wife, Amain, urges him to go back home, but he ignores that. Instead, he wonders what else he could do in order to appease the souls of the dead. We then cut to our favorite Demon Slayers, Tanjiro, Inosuke, and Zenitsu, as they board the Mugen Train. Their task is to help Flame Pillar, Rengoku, to find and defeat the demons who have sneaked into the train. The trio head inside and see, or rather hear, Rengoku as he continuously yells out delicious while eating his food. Though a bit weirded out by the situation, Tanjiro, Inosuke, and Zenitsu still manage to approach the man. They make small talk at first, with Rengoku telling Tanjiro that he's accepted Nezuko as part of the Demon Slayer Corps. This makes Tanjiro feel at ease, and he sits beside Rengoku. The Flame Pillar explains further that more than 40 people have disappeared while on the train within a short period of time. The higher-ups have even sent countless of Demon Slayers to investigate the issue, but each and every one of them also went missing after a while, which is why Rengoku himself, a high-ranking Demon Slayer, came to the rescue. As the ticket conductor comes to punch in their stubs, Rengoku and Tanjiro immediately notice something is off. Rengoku and the kids gets to work just as a demon appears in the train. It's big, intimidating, and looks strong, but Rengoku seems unfazed as he immediately attacks the demon, cutting of its head in a single blow. Sensing one more demon, Rengoku takes his pupils to where it is. This time, a demon with long limbs and tentacles attacks one of the passengers. Inosuke runs towards it, but doesn't notice one of its limbs almost injuring him. Rengoku, faster than before, saves both the passenger and Inosuke from danger before defeating the second demon with his flame-breathing style. In awe at what their Flame Pillar can do, the trio can only sing praises about Rengoku's superb skills. However, we quickly discover that everything we witnessed is Rengoku's dream, and that all of the Demon Slayers have fallen asleep. The ticket conductor tearfully reports that he's finished his mission to an unknown figure and now wants to fall asleep so he can see his deceased wife and daughter. A hand with a mouth and eyes appears before him and grants him his wish. The hand is owned by a demon named Enmu, one of Musen Kibutsuji's lower moon demons with the ability to make anyone falls asleep. Enmu instructs a couple of kids to bind themselves with any of the 4 Demon Slayers so they can enter their consciousness and destroy their spiritual cores. This would render the Demon Slayers unable to wake up ever again. In the dream state, Tanjiro knows that he's fallen asleep, but at the sudden appearance of his deceased family members, he falls victim to the allure of the illusion. Meanwhile, the kids in reality have bound themselves to each of the Demon Slayers and set off to fulfill their tasks. The trio fall into an even deep slumber. Tanjiro reunites with his family in his dream, while Zenitsu dreams of a date with Nezuko. Inosuke dreams of fighting the train with the anamorph versions of Tanjiro, Nezuko, and Zenitsu. While Rengoku dreams of coming back home to his father and younger brother, the girl who invaded his dream finds his spiritual core. As soon as she reaches for it, Rengoku's survival instinct kicks in. Although still unconscious, Rengoku chokes the girl in real life, making her unable to finish the task. In Tanjiro's dream, he sees his subconscious begging for him to wake up through a reflection in the river. It reaches for him, dragging him underwater, and tries to help fight the demon's spell. In real life, Nezuko has also come out of her box and sees her older brother asleep. She tries waking him up by headbutting him, but Tanjiro's head is built like a brick. The impact causes her forehead to bleed and makes Nezuko upset. She headbutts her brother again, this time adding in her blood demon art, and this seems to wake Tanjiro in the dream state, letting him regain enough strength to leave the illusion behind. The other kids connected to Inosuke and Zenitsu are also unsuccessful at destroying the spirit cores after being chased out of the dreams by Inosuke and Zenitsu themselves. Meanwhile, Tanjiro tries his best to get out of the dream state he's in. As he's searching for answers, he sees the illusion of his father, who instructs him that something needs to be cut before promptly disappearing. Tanjiro riskily interprets this as committing suicide and takes his own sword to end his life in the dream. Tanjiro comes back to reality only to see Rengoku still choking the girl he's tied to. He then instructs Nezuko to use her blood demon art to burn the ropes from their wrists, though they remain unconscious. Suddenly, the girl connected to Rengoku strikes at Tanjiro, warning him not to interfere. The rest of the kids wake up too and point their weapons at Tanjiro. However, Tanjiro easily incapacitates the kids with a knock to the back of their heads and sets off to fight the Enmu himself. He leaves Nezuko in charge of protecting the passengers while he's gone, and Tanjiro comes face to face with Enmu. A battle ensues between the two. Despite falling asleep at various intervals because of the demon's spell, Tanjiro manages to behead Enmu. However, instead of dissolving into ash, the demon reveals that he's fused himself with the train. Therefore, his head that was cut wasn't the real one. As Enmu prepares to devour the rest of the passengers with his disgusting limbs, Inosuke, thankfully, wakes up to offer help. Tanjiro instructs him to protect everyone he can before going his separate way to help save more people. Nezuko joins in on the fight but finds herself in a bind soon after. Zenitsu arrives and frees Nezuko by using his thunder breathing technique. Nezuko watches as Zenitsu easily slashes their enemy, despite being asleep. The Demon Slayers are now struggling to fight against the demon's regenerating limbs. Rengoku, who is fully awake, arrives and defends the sleeping passengers with incredible power and speed. Rengoku then instructs Inosuke and Tanjiro to find the head of the demon, while he, Nezuko, and a still asleep Zenitsu save the people from getting eaten alive. Tanjiro and Inosuke make it to the very front of the train, where Demon's real head and neck lie. Another battle takes place, this time fiercer than the last. Because of Enmu's spell, Tanjiro slips in and out of consciousness, eventually finding it hard to differentiate between what's real and what's not. Tanjiro almost commits suicide in real life in the chaos, but lucky for him, Inosuke stops him. Inosuke, unaffected by the spell because of his boar head gear, gets to work into slashing the eyes of the demon. The train conductor attempts to stab Inosuke's bare torso, but Tanjiro intervenes and uses his body as a shield, getting stabbed instead. Tanjiro and Inosuke match their breathing style in order to fight the demon. Working tirelessly together, the pair manage to reveal Enmu's neck bone and slash it, effectively cutting off its head. As the demon perishes, it disentangles itself from the moving train. The action causes the train to get derailed, sending Tanjiro flying off of the vehicle as it crashes back on the ground. Heavily injured, Tanjiro asks Inosuke to go check on the others. Rengoku appears and helps Tanjiro steady his breathing in order to stop his wound from worsening. Just then, another demon appears. This time it's Upper Moon ranked Akaza, who initially tries to kill Tanjiro after seeing his Hanafuna earrings. Rengoku defends his pupil, which impresses Akaza. He tries to convince Rengoku to join the dark side and become a demon himself. Obviously, Rengoku refuses. Then, he orders Tanjiro and Inosuke to step back as he steps up to fight Akaza alone. An incredible fight happens between the two, with Rengoku easily matching Akaza's speed and power with apparent ease. However, Rengoku takes an offensive approach next in order to cut off the demon's head. The two fight head-to-head, with Akaza taunting Rengoku the whole time. Despite slashing Akaza multiple times, the demon's regenerating ability is too fast. Eventually, Akaza lands a powerful hit on Rengoku. As Akaza approaches the flame pillar, he tries to convince him, again, to become a demon so they can fight each other forever. Rengoku refuses, bluntly tells Akaza he hates him, and moves to attack once more even though he's already showing signs of exhaustion. Akaza lands multiple hits on Rengoku, breaking his bones with every punch. Meanwhile, Tanjiro and Inosuke can only watch as the fight take place, knowing that if they try to join in, they'd die. Rengoku is fatally injured and exhausted at this point, while Akaza shows no signs of slowing down. Although he knows he's outmatched, Rengoku engages in one more battle and pulls off an epic move. This time though, there's a clear winner to the fight. The dust settles in this final battle. Tanjiro sees that Akaza's arm had punched a hole in Rengoku's torso, sealing his fate and ensuring the flame pillar's death. Akaza tries one last time to get Rengoku to become a demon, but Rengoku remembers his mother, who told him to always protect others. This sparks a flame in him as he moves to behead Akaza, but gets his sword stuck in the demon's neck. With sheer willpower alone, Rengoku also tightens his muscles and traps Akaza's arm in his body, intending to keep the demon there just as the sun is starting to rise. Tanjiro regains enough strength to run to help Rengoku, and he yells for Inosuke to move and finish the demon off. But Akaza breaks free at the last moment and escapes to the thick forest. Tanjiro then sends his sword flying, hits Akaza, and calls him a coward for running away. Grief-stricken and unable to do anything else, Tanjiro and Inosuke can only listen as Rengoku utters his last words. He tells his pupils that no matter how inferior they feel, they need to set their hearts ablaze. Rengoku then sees the image of his deceased mother, smiles one last time before passing away. And that concludes our movie recap for today. We hope you enjoyed this one, and if you did, make sure to give this video a big thumbs up, hit the subscribe button, and share with us your favorite scene in the comments below. Until next time, bye!